Okay, hi guys, Neil here from Red Winches again. Winch control. There's a number of different options and some of it gets quite confusing, and we thought we'd just make a quick video, make life nice and simple. So essentially it breaks down into three options. We can have switches mounted to the dashboard inside the vehicle. We can go for traditional sort of wired pendant control that plugs in somewhere on the vehicle, or then we can go to wireless, and we've got a couple of different versions of the wireless here. Most of these, you're not just restricted to a wired pendant controller or a wireless controller or dash switch. You can combine this stuff to give you options when you wire it into the vehicle. Starting at the most basic, you've got your plug-in pendant controller. It's going to give you a winch in and winch out. Now on the low line winches where you've got a control box, there's a socket for plugging that into. However, you can also add that to any of our other winches using one of these bulkhead connectors, which we also can supply. So you can then mount that somewhere suitable. You know, we can run this with a Hornet, we can run it with a King Cobra, a Cobra, etc. So even if you haven't got a control box. Also, we now have the kit on the website for Grenadier owners that wish to retrofit a wired hand controller to the Grenadier because they want that backup just in case something happens to the wireless system. Now, your normal pendant controller only gives you winch in, winch out. So this, in our world, this is the HCO1 part number. But we now have the HCO2. And what does the HCO2 have? Well, it's not a light here now, it's an actual switch. So we can control the free spool with this as well. So if you've got a winch with an air free spool, if you've got the air free spool controlled by an air solenoid, you can control it through that as well. Wiring diagrams all on the website for how to connect these up. But again, you'll need bulkhead connector, and because we're controlling effectively three functions, winch in, winch out and free spool, we need 4 wires to do that. When we move on to wireless systems, we've got the basic wireless system. The basic wireless system, like the HCO1 hand controller, will give you winch in and winch out. That's it, that's all it does. Range on our basic system is about 40 meters, okay? Now, you can combine all three of these setups. So we could have dash switches plus a plug-in hand controller plus a wireless unit. So we've got all those options built into the vehicle. It does start to become a little bit more involved with the wiring because, of course, you're splicing together a number of different wires. Personally, what I prefer to go for is the LODAR system that we have here, okay? This is what we've used on our own trucks for many years. We sell the LODARs really to complement our own winches. Another fantastic British company. Now, the beauty of the LODAR system is the handset's wireless. It has a 300 meter range, so far more range on this than any of our winch ropes, even the biggest winch capacity winches. Sorry, biggest rope capacity winches, I should say. This has got far more range. Now, as well as power on and off, we've got our winch in, winch out function, and we've got a function to control the air free spool. So again, you'd need to couple that with an air solenoid, but now I've got remote control of the air free spool. So if I've pulled out 50, 60 meters of rope and I'm at the hook end, 60 meters away from the vehicle, I can put the free spool back in, I can tension the rope, etc. before I then go back to the vehicle and do the pull. So that's great. It's very robust, it will float. But then people might be thinking, yeah, but I also want dash switches. Well, this is where the LODAR really wins, because you can spec it so that on the receiver you have a duplicate set of controls. So now you can mount that somewhere within easy reach in the vehicle, and we've got control of all the functions of the winch here, or if I get out of the vehicle, I can grab the handset and I've got controls there. Now, this one is the 4 function. You do have a spare channel, so if you wanted to control something else with that, say a spotlights or something, it can be done with that 4th channel. We also do a 6-channel version, so if you're running a front and a rear winch, we can have channels 1, 2, 3, 4, controlling winch in and out on the front winch and winch in and out on the rear winch, and then another 2 channels to control the free spool for both winches as well. So it really has you covered. Whichever way you decide to go though, All the instructions, all of the data sheets, all the wiring diagrams, they're all on the website. If you need any more information though, please give the office a call or drop us an email. I'll be more than happy to help.